Hello, trainers, and welcome to the making of the thumbnail, this one featuring Absol. This thumbnail took me about a half an hour, and it was kind of a bit of a warm-up. I've been out of doing things for about a month or two, so this was a nice little simple one to get back into the swing of things. So starting with the eyes, as I usually do, and then doing the little facial features, and then going to be going into the outlines. Again, it was a pretty simple one. It was really nice to work with curves, and with Absol in the episode, it's very much kind of a shy, not wanting to be misunderstood. I would like to think of this as kind of the moment when you agree to stay home, because she warns you of she's got a bad feeling about your outing. So I like to think this is like the moment where you're like, yeah, I'll stay home. And she's like, really? It's kind of funny. The circle on the head, I never really gave much thought as to what that's supposed to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's, just there for aesthetics' sake. But whenever I draw these thumbnails, I start to really think about the anatomy that I'm drawing. And I don't fully understand what that forehead circle's supposed to be. Like, I've drawn a couple Pokemon where they have gems in their forehead or somewhere on their person, and that makes sense to me, like even Frostlass's little ice horns. But this one doesn't shine like a gem or a stone, really, so it's almost like a glorified bald spot to me. I hope I don't cause a can't unsee it for some people, but I don't know. I don't know what else that's supposed to be unless it's like a hard spot, kind of like what's that dinosaur one? Craniodon, I think, where it's just like got the big hard spot, but I don't know. It just kind of amused me in thought. So I did a bunch of the body outlines. Most of it's going to be white, so I used a kind of bluish gray. Whenever it's white, I like to give a hint of another color in it to emphasize what color palette it's supposed to be. So since Absol is usually cooler colors, I gave it the kind of like soft blue gray. And then lots of white. I also really liked the idea of the rough kind of working like a dewlap almost, or a mane over the chest. So I had the signature bra kind of just sticking out from underneath it. And I used the solid colors first and then used white on top of it because I wanted the solid colors emphasized more, since again, there's so much white going on. I didn't want it to just blend in with everything. And then the Ditto Pink to replace the main skin color, and a nice little blush. Now, when I do the shadowing for the white fur, I kind of wish I went a little heavier. Usually when I am warming up or a bit uncertain about what I'm doing, I tend to go really light with shadows. That's been a bad habit of mine for years, so I really need to get on myself about that again. But definitely wanted to add shadows just to break up the monotony of the white. Been trying to push myself a little more, because with the years of practice, I think we're on the 3rd year anniversary now. I've definitely been getting faster at these, and so I'm trying to push myself for more details, because it's like, well, I have more time to do stuff. So figuring my light is coming from the left side, I'm trying to do the shadows on that side, using a transparent shadow color and stroking it on, and then using a somewhat transparent eraser to feather it into a gradient into the fur. And again, with the super fluffy dewlap, I wanted to emphasize a little more fur, and this is definitely where I wish I had harder lines, because when they start out, they look pretty good, but I was getting a little paranoid. They just looked like a big collection of check marks and didn't have too much faith in my clustering abilities. So I made them like really light, and if I made them a bit darker and maybe a little smaller, I think it would have been all right. It would have looked not too much like a Santa beard, I hope. So got that about done. Adding the Ditto shine, especially to the blade head. There's not too much shine to do since it's all pretty white. If I wanted to have more shine in the fur, I would have made it either probably harsher lighting so that there was more darker shadow on the fur so I had more room to play with it. Shining up whatever the heck that forehead thing's supposed to be. It's things you don't really think about until you have to actually draw it. It's like, what is that? A little shine on the nose, using the original colors for the background. Made it a bit darker, again, so the white doesn't blur with the other white. Getting that DDD in there. And then doing the number. Very simple, very straightforward. Kind of how I like it sometimes. And then doing the drop shadow effect so that that number pops out a little more when you zoom out. So yeah, really nice one to come back to. If you would like to have these as early access or you want to hear the full episode that this thumbnail was made for, you can subscribe to my Subscribestar or Patreon. The available rewards on both are changing a bit for this year. There's going to be more variety with videos, audio, drawings, and short stories. And otherwise, if you are watching this on YouTube, I would love it if you would subscribe, and I will see you for the next catch. Bye-bye.